Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be walking you through my updated eyebrow routine. I've already posted an eyebrow video before, but a couple of the products that I was using in that routine have unfortunately been discontinued. I know, I hate when that happens. So I wanted to share with you guys an update on the products that I'm using now and some of the techniques that I've had to change with those new products. So let's get right into it. First step, get your hair out of the way. This be getting in my way, let me tell you. But actually, first step is going to be the Big Boost Fibre Gel Brow from MAC. And I'm just going to work this in all through the brow for some, like a base color basically. Just kind of follow your natural hairs. Don't use too much of this one, but it will build up the actual thickness of your brows. Oh my god. While I'm doing this, guys, I have to tell you about my funniest brow story ever. If you can even believe it, I used to never fill in my eyebrows. Like, how crazy is that? Now brows are like kind of my thing, and I used to actually never do it. So I have this hilarious story from when I first started filling in my brows. Before I start talking about all that though, the next step is to use your clear brow set and just separate all of the hairs, get them all fanned out so that you can see the individual little bundles of hair so you know where to draw in. So when I first started working at MAC, I didn't think that you needed to fill in your eyebrows, especially as a blonde, which is just super not true. And luckily, I had my best friend, Sarah, shout out Sarah, who convinced me that I definitely needed to fill in my eyebrows. She's always convincing me to try new things, so I appreciate her for that. But I listened to her and allowed her to fill in my eyebrows for the first time and like show me how to do it. So she did a beautiful job of just like a nice light application of eyeshadow to start me out. Okay, but before I keep going with that story, I want to move on to my first step of drawing on these brows. So we're going in with Taupe Shape and Shade Brow Tint. And I'm just using this to get an anchor for my brows. So just drawing in the hairs, leaving some space between them, and getting an idea of the shape that you're wanting to create. I use two different colors just to add dimension, so Taupe is the lighter of the two. You can just sort of see now how we're getting that shape going to the eyebrow. So continuing on with my story time, what did I even just finish with? Okay, so Sarah had put on this nice light eyebrow, and we were like, let's go show our manager at the time. And he's like one of the best artists that I've ever known. So we were really excited to like show him what we created. And he got really excited, and this was when Instagram was just starting to be a thing. And he was like, oh my god, I saw this sort of trick that our senior artists were doing backstage to create like a waterproof eyebrow product, because at the time, this was like, oh my god, probably like 8 or 9 years ago. So at the time we didn't have waterproof brow products. So we were like, okay, show us this trick, like we want to see it. And because, you know, I was the guinea pig of the day, we did it on me. So he starts pulling out two products that are not eyebrow products at all, a gel eyeliner and our Pro Longwear concealer. Now the gel eyeliner that he grabs is in a black color. So weird, right? I'm like, I'm already skeptical, right? Like, I'm like, I don't fill in my eyebrows, so you're pulling out black and that's gonna work on my naked eyebrows? Like, what? Okay, so I'm just like checking to make sure that these are coming together balanced. And like this side has a few more little spaces between it, but that's okay because I'm gonna go into the next step before I continue on with my story time. And that is just using the second color, which is Fling. In the same product, it's just slightly darker. And I'm gonna do the same technique, but going in between the spaces and just adding dimension where I need a little bit something more. Okay, so he's mixed this concoction that is now like a greenish color on his hands because, you know, skin tone plus black, it's making kind of a weird color. But you know, he's the boss, he's my manager, so I just let it happen. And he starts applying it in my eyebrows. And I'm like looking in the mirror and it is getting, well, it's very dark. And I basically have black eyebrows on my face. But I don't question it, I'm just like, okay. Meanwhile, I can see all of my friends behind me looking at me in the mirror, killing themselves laughing, like basically on the floor, dying of laughter, and I just have to sit there and be like, yeah, I love it. But he just keeps going and going and going and like adding more and more product in. In fact, all the people that I was working with at the time were like, what if you tried like brown eyeliner instead of black to make it, you know, more her hair tone? No, we're gonna stick with the black. And yeah, so we just went with that. And when I'm telling you these brows were wild, I looked like, I don't even know, when we retell the story, we actually draw out eyebrows on paper, like huge Sharpie eyebrows, and like cut them out and then tape them to our face. And there was a moment where, because after he did them, I had to keep them on to help customers because I didn't want to be rude and be like, okay, that was fun, but crazy, I want to take them off. So I kept them on, and I was like cleaning something at the cash wrap, I remember. And then I like turned around to greet a customer and I was like, hi, like welcome to Mac. And she's like, oh, like terrified of my face because the eyebrows were so intense, like the craziest eyebrows you've ever seen. So it's literally one of my favorite things to retell with Sarah because we just are on the floor laughing the entire time with our Sharpie eyebrows drawn and taped on our face. And like they were like so close together. I don't even know, just like drawn on so close together and so dark and black. And I'd never drawn on eyebrows before. It was just a very traumatizing experience for me, being, you know, a new Mac artist and new to eyebrows. But these are the things in life that shape you. And this is what allows us to have hilarious, fun stories. I just had to share that with you guys because it's actually one of my favorite memories of working at Mac. Was obviously we love to always experiment with new products and try new things, but that was just on a whole nother level. That was something totally different. Something else that I think is important when using this sort of felt tip pen, to see how far back I'm holding it on the actual pen. So not holding it like you would a pencil, holding it quite far back. This will give you a little bit more flexibility and mobility in your wrist. It also helps you to control the pressure that you're putting onto the product. So you don't want to put this on too dark, and that will happen if you hold it closer to the front of the pencil. Okay, so now I'm just kind of going back and forth with the Fling. You can see it's coming together. The spaces are being filled out. The trick to eyebrows is making them look like they're from the same family, preferably from the same parents, not, you know, second cousins 4 times removed. But we want them to be siblings. So sisters, brothers, they don't need to be twins. I look at things like the top of the brows here to make sure that they have the same depth in them. This one, for whatever reason, always gets a little bit lighter for me than this side. I don't know if it's my angle, I'm more heavy-handed on this side. So balancing that out, I look for the arch to make sure that those are balanced, and then the tail to make sure that those kind of come out to be in the same areas. So those are the things you can look at. There's also a trick too where you can hold up your pencil, and that's where your eyebrow should ideally start, and that's where your eyebrow should ideally end. So take it from your nose to your lower lash line, and then that's where your brow should stop. And then the arch can happen just on the outside of the iris, the colored part of your eye. It should arch up just past there. So that's how you can sort of tell if your eyebrows are in the right shape and doing their thing. Alright guys, that is it. My updated eyebrow routine and a little funny story time there for you. Hopefully you found it as hilarious as I do, and it's not one of those you had to be there moments. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, learned some things on creating these sort of fluffy brows. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and you guys can follow me on all social platforms at Kayla Bliss. If you're recreating this brow look or any of my looks, please tag me in it so that I can see all of your amazing work. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.